Here we go. Another one of the road to 240 workouts here. Back on the Airdyne after only one day. I'm gonna put my foot. Just trying to figure out where to put my glasses here. All right. Well, this time I have a little bit more going on in the background in this video. What you see happening right now is a PTP class, which stands for POPAT Test Prep Training. It is one of our main training classes here at Redline. The majority of people that are training at Redline are preparing for municipal police like Vancouver, Surrey, Delta, any municipal department that requires the POPAT test. That's the majority of the training that we do here. But we also help people get ready for PAIR, PFA for our CMP, COPAT test for anyone getting into corrections or might need a COPAT for something like VPD or ABI, SOPAT test. So, I mean, pretty much any test that's done in Canada, we can help you with. Except for whatever's done in Quebec or the prep test. APREP in Alberta, yeah, that's something we can help with too. Anyway, doing a 3-minute warm-up right now, about halfway through on my warm-up. Yesterday I did 6 sets, 1 minute hard. That was fairly hard towards the end too. 3 minutes easy. Today it will be 2 minutes hard, but relatively hard. It's going to be what I've been doing before on the Airdyne. 2 minutes of work followed by 1 minute of rest. So I got to be a bit more conservative on the working intervals. I can't be as aggressive as I got like yesterday. So if memory serves right, I think during my working sets, I was trying to be around 24, 25 miles an hour for the 2 minutes and try not to drop below 20 miles an hour during the recovery set. So 2 minutes on, working set, 1 minute off, nice and easy. Well, relatively easy. Like I said, I'm not dropping below 20. I'm going to I'm going to do this for 10 sets for today. So when all said and done, when I include warm up and cool down, it'll be about 33 minutes. And depending on what time I have left, maybe I'll do something extra afterwards, but this is the main priority. Alright, coming up to my first set here. 2 minutes on. Right now I'm around 23 and a half. Maybe I'll keep it there for a bit. It is the first set. Body is still kind of warming up. So I'm not expecting to push it too hard, but for the majority of the sets, I'm looking around 24 to 25 as my range on the working sets. So like I said earlier, the class that's going on behind me right now is our PTP class, POPAT Test Prep. It's actually one of the newer classes not newer classes, but newer time slots we've added to the training schedule. Was it 3:23 right now? So this is a 3 to 4 p.m. class. Most of the classes are either in the morning. So in the morning time, PTP is from 9 to 10, Monday through Friday, and in the evening from 6:15 to 7:15. Those are the majority of the PTP classes, but we also got one on Saturday morning. We also got Sunday morning as well. So if you ever want to check out our schedule, just go to our main website, rlconditioning.ca. It's not schedule anyhow. Only 5 seconds left on this set. So in the PTP class, what we do is we essentially break down the test into three components: obstacle course, push-pull machine, and the vault. And we'll spend anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes per station, essentially just getting the reps on it. That's alright if you cross, that's fine. That's alright. Alright, first set done, second set coming up, 5 more seconds. Here we go. See, already from the first set to the second set has made a difference. I'm already around 24 and a half. I'll see if I can maintain that for the rest of the set. Whereas the first set, I felt like I was trying to work at 23 and a half. The body just needed that priming to be able to do a little bit more. So what was I saying earlier about the PTP? Oh yeah, PTP class, we break it down to 3 stations: obstacle course, push-pull machine, and vault. Now, small class today. We got about 5 people, but we can easily be at our maximum of 15 people. Typically the class is a bit more go, 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 especially when we have a big class, or if we have what I like to say are our veterans join the classes. We might switch things up a little bit more, but at its core, it's your opportunity to work on the course, work on the machine, work on the vault. Oh yeah, it's fine. All good. Have a good one. All right. 2 sets done. Now, if you are a beginner to redline, or even the pull pad itself, I actually wouldn't recommend jumping into the PTP classes right off the bat, especially if we are nearly full at 15 people. I mean, even with about 10 people in the class, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for us to provide more individual coaching throughout the session. So we actually have another program, call it the pull pad intro program. It's our 2-week program where there are classes essentially geared towards beginners. And when I say beginners, not necessarily beginner to fitness, but really beginners to the pull pad. And so that's an opportunity, since class sizes are smaller and it is an intro program, we can take our time coaching you through things like the push-pull machine, how to effectively perform the push, how to try to pace yourself on the course, how to be efficient during the vault and falls. That's the thing with the pull pad, and really any of these tests. But they're very much like preparing for a sport. It's good to have the fitness, and you definitely need fitness. I'll expand on that a little bit more here shortly. But like any sport, fitness alone isn't going to determine your performance. Knowing how to play the sport is going to play a factor as well. So I grew up playing basketball. I like to use basketball as an analogy. I can be the world's fittest person alive. If I don't know how to shoot a basketball, if I don't know how to dribble, pass, any of those little skills, I shouldn't say little, but any of those important skills to help you be a good basketball player, a good baller, it doesn't matter what your fitness is, you're not going to perform well. If you know how to dribble, you know how to shoot, you know how to pass, play defense, all the little things, that's going to go into being a better player. You got to practice that. And it makes the game more fun too. So, preparing for the POPAT or any physical test is very much just like preparing for a sport. You need to know the ins and outs. You need to know the techniques that are involved. You need to know the strategies that are involved. Yes, on the surface it looks easy. It looks simple. But just because it looks easy or it looks simple does not mean that it is simple or easy. Too many times I've seen athletes come in, and when I say athletes, I mean like genuine competitive athletes. People who've played varsity level athletics, sports and whatnot. Literally former CFL players. I've seen it here at Redline, and they will be challenged by the POPAT because it's different than any other sport. You can't just assume, oh yeah, I was an athlete, I got this in the bag. There was one time, maybe about a year and a half ago now, we had a gentleman come in for his test for SPS, and he asked, like, what's the fastest time here? And claims that he's going to beat it. And this is a gentleman who'd never touched a POPAT before. He was coming in completely green. Ended up being the one person that did not even finish their POPAT that day. So, he definitely got served his humble pie. Trained with us for about a month before he redid his test and got something like a 3:10 or 3:11 time. A very impressive time. So it's not that it wasn't a question of his fitness, or I should say it wasn't lack of fitness for his failure. It was lack of ego and humility for one, and just not knowing what to do for the test. Very bad combination. So you can't look at this test or any other test and just base the challenge of it, the ease of it, if you will, just on what you see on the surface. Actually do it. Actually run through it. If you have the opportunity to run a practice before your official test, do it. I don't care which test it is. POPAT, A-Prep, Prep, wherever you have the opportunity to run a full test, do it. But for some of you, that's all you need. You just need to know what the test is like. So I've seen this on occasion as well. I mean, I've been at this now for 17 years. I wouldn't say I've seen it all, but I've certainly seen a lot. And I've seen many people, and again, it's not their fitness that failed them. It was their lack of experience with the test. And they'll come back the next day or the next week, and they'll kill their time from the last time simply because they knew what to expect. Simply because they knew what they had to do now. And that can go a long way. Now, in other cases, if it is your fitness that is lacking, you can learn all the ins and outs of the test as you want, and it will help. But what's going to take you to that next level is going to be your fitness at that point. All right, set number 5. Approaching the halfway point here. Now, some of the other classes we run here at Redline, one of them we call LeoFit. And those are the fitness-based training classes. They don't tend to be as popular as the PTP, but it definitely can help you in your performance as well. Like I said, if you need to take it to the next level, you gotta improve your fitness, both your strength and your cardio fitness. In the majority of cases, improving cardio fitness to higher and higher levels is what's really going to unlock your performance levels. Strength is certainly a big factor as well, more so for women in general. It's just a general statement. Strength is going to be more so important for women, but just in particular, people of smaller stature. So LeoFit, that's what we're doing. We're working on improving strength and conditioning your cardio and combining that so it has a positive effect on your performance for the POPET or the pair or the PFA. And here's the other thing with fitness. When you increase that ceiling of your fitness, when you have that high level of fitness, it gives you more room for error. You can afford to make more mistakes during the test. Now, it doesn't mean you can make unlimited mistakes, but one mistake won't be the end of the world. For example, this is fall last year. We had one gentleman come in, same thing for SPS, and the guy was clearly fit because the lap times he was running on the ProPack were about 17, 18 seconds. And those are very, very fast times. Very, very impressive times to run on laps. But he ended up knocking the second hurdle on his final lap. So in the ProPack test, if you don't know, it's knocked down. Maybe you can see behind me, but there are 18-inch hurdles with the red bar behind me. If you knock down the hurdles, you gotta put it back and redo your jump. So it's on his final lap, the sixth lap. He knocks down a hurdle, he has to put it back. He's gotta go back to the prior cone before redo the jump. And he does the jumps again, and again knocks down that second hurdle. So puts it back, redoes the jump, he's good this time. He comes off the course. From a time perspective, I think he was around 2:12 or so, which is still a very good time to have coming off the course. So nothing for him to panic, more than 2 minutes if needed. But then during the push, he ended up dropping the weight, I think about 2 or 3 rotations in. So, actually I think it was 2 rotations in. I remember him telling me he had to he ended up doing 10 rotations total. So, when you drop the weight on the push-pull machine, if you can see it behind me, I think over my right shoulder, if you drop the weight during the POPAT test, you have to redo your rotations. Start back all the way from 0. Doesn't matter if you're on the 6th one and on your 5th one and about to complete your 6th. If you drop it before completion, you're restarting everything. So he dropped it after the second rotation, he's back down to 0. By the time he got to the vault, he was feeling fairly exhausted. And he passed his test at around 4:11, I believe it was. And to pass, you have to be 4:15 or faster. So he passed, but he barely passed. But because he was fit, he had a high level of conditioning, he had good strength, and that helped overcome the mistakes that he made. So, the higher level of fitness you have, especially cardio fitness, the the more room for error you have, the more mistakes you could make. But the lower your fitness level, the more on point you need to be in everything you do during a test. A single mistake could potentially be your downfall. Now, with that said, let's say you do make a mistake. It's very easy in the moment to feel defeated and think, oh shit, that's it, I failed my test. But you gotta give yourself a chance. I'll share another story of someone I tested. And this was actually many more years ago. And they were doing the COPAT test. A much easier test in comparison to the COPAT. But in their test, by the time they got to the obstacle course and jumped the first hurdle, they knocked it down. And then that's it, they stopped, they quit. And it was so early in the test that they still had time to recover and give themselves a chance to pass. I had another situation a few years ago, this time for the COPAT test, where someone, again, had made mistakes. Nothing crucial, but there's enough mistakes made, and they were feeling enough fatigue that by the time they got to the vault, they kind of just turned it off. They completed it, but they essentially shut down. And when the time stopped, they were something like 417 or 418. And this was someone who was capable of passing, but they got in their head, crap, I'm tired, I don't think I'm doing well, I'm just gonna survive through this thing. And it cost her test. Now, it was a practice, it wasn't an official test. But when I told her a time after, she was kicking herself for not trying. So you have to give yourself that opportunity. Even if a mistake is made, doesn't mean all is lost. You gotta fight. And you gotta fight to the end. I always like to say, don't quit till they make you quit. Especially if you're testing in an environment where you got recruiters there. They want to see what kind of fight you have. What kind of fight that you have in you. No matter what level of fitness you are, whether you're doing a 3-minute time or a 4-minute time, they want to see, are you battling to the bitter end? Because that can say a lot about somebody. Don't quit till they make you quit. Keep battling no matter what kind of mistakes are made. Because you just never know. Personal example. Now this isn't related to the COPAT. It's actually back when I was still racing triathlons. And at the time, I managed to get myself on the World University team and represent Canada at the University Games in triathlon. Now I'll caveat that by saying it wasn't an automatic qualification. I was on what's called a roll down list. So if someone who automatically qualified couldn't make it, whoever's on the roll down list will get first dibs, and so forth and so forth. So that's how I managed to get on the team. But if I'm going to be honest, I really didn't belong on the team. I can hold my own on the bike. And I was decent enough on the runs to keep up with the group, but the swim, that's my Achilles heel during triathlons. That's the slowest portion of the whole race. And everyone who was on the team, all much better swimmers than I am. So in the race itself, by the time I got out of the water, I was dead last, and I mean last. I think I was maybe 3, possibly 4 minutes behind the next person in front of me. And I knew that was going to be the case. And I kept on going. For one, I just wanted to give myself a chance to try to make it to the end. Because one of the rules in the particular race I was doing was, if you get lapped on the bike course by the lead group, that's it, you're done. So because I was by myself, I had no one to draft with, I had to work extra hard. Whereas the lead group, there was like a pack of 10 of them. So they can all work with each other to go fast. I didn't have that luxury. And so I think there's a 4 lap course. And on the third lap, I was pulled off the course. I wasn't disappointed though by it. In the back of my mind, I knew that was going to happen. But again, I just wanted to give myself that chance to try to finish. Because you just never know. So don't quit until they make you quit. And that's what happened to me that day. They made me quit. Now, another reason I wanted to give myself a chance to go as long as possible, I was doing the race all the way in Lausanne, Switzerland. So, that was a really cool experience. I was there for the World University race, and then I'd also qualified for the age group team as well. So, at the time, it would have been the 20 to 24 age group. And that one was a lot of fun because literally you had thousands of people racing the course that day in the age group championships. I mean, not all in the 2024 category, all categories, all age categories, but you had thousands of people racing and thousands of spectators cheering you on. It was nice. Had a lot of fun doing that. So this is set number 9 now. One more after this one. I've been, for the most part, between, let's just call it on average, 24 and a half. Right now, I'm just around 25-ish. Let's see if I can hold 25-ish on this set and the set after. Which means I'm going to have to feel a little bit more burn in the arms and legs here. And try to hold my core steady. Pretty sure you can see my body leaning side to side. That's a sign of fatigue setting in. A little bit of lack of focus. I am talking right now. It's not like I'm having an easy conversation. I got 30 more seconds. So I've talked about a couple of our classes we have here. Pole Pat Test Prep and Leo Fit. If you get a membership with us, or if you get a punch pass, we also have practice sessions throughout the week that you can sign up for. Gives you an opportunity to try to put everything in full. Although it's not required for you to do everything in full in our practice sessions. If you have to modify a bit, you can always modify. We have different practice sessions. We have semi-private sessions. So, Pole Pat Test Prep, Leo Fit, semi-privates. You can all sign up as a drop-in for those sessions. If you have a certain type of membership with us, either a Bravo membership or Alpha membership, you also have access to the semi-private. So that's what's going to happen after this class that you see happening behind me. There's going to be a semi-private session going on. We do maximum 3 people in those. Okay, final set. Max 3 people. And that allows you to actually get more individual coaching as compared to our PTP class. But I think I mentioned earlier, We have a POPAD intro program, and I don't think I continued on about that one. But POPAD intro is good for the beginners, and again, beginners to the POPAD, not necessarily beginning to fitness. And in the PIP POPAD intro program, we have specific classes that you can also attend called just simply POPAD intro class. And it's a good way to just learn everything and not get thrown into the fire of a PTP class. Because PTPs can be a bit more go, go, go. Okay. Less than a minute. Let's stay focused. Let's not drop below 25. I'm just talking to myself now. Self-talk can go a long way. Drop it a bit. 20 more seconds. Come on. 20. Ten more. Don't drop. Don't drop. Okay. 1 minute easy. Keep it above 20. And then on the 3-minute cool down, I'll just real easy at that point. Oh, good. My heart rate monitor is reading correctly right now. Oh. Three minutes easy. All right. Well, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to subscribe to more, or at least subscribe to the channel, please do so. But if you made it this far, thank you. And honestly, I mean thank you, because I don't expect someone to watch me training from beginning to end. But it's not as if I'm just quiet. I'm still talking all throughout. How you doing, man? I'm assuming you're here for the SPT session? Semi-private? Oh, sorry? Yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah. So Jordan over there, he'll be your coach for today. I'm Mark, by the way. Okay, how you doing? Good. Just getting my own workout in right now. Your first time here? Yeah, well, welcome to Redline. If you don't mind me asking, what test are you preparing for?
Actually, already for RCMP.
RCMP, okay, yeah.
So I just passed my own competition, just waiting for the interview.
Yeah.
They asked me to get my fitness log and everything.
Yeah.
Last 2 months I started my fitness, but I lose 10 kg weight.
Oh, good, good, yeah.
Still it's not that productive that I needed to get the actual cardio over there.
Yeah.
It's like 25 to 40 push-ups.
Yeah.
And they have like 41 like go down, go up.
Right. Yeah.
And one is like 5
Yeah,
So I'm not able to hit the 25 kilometers, like 25 kilometers, one mile for that.
yeah,
Push-ups are able to do about 20.
yeah.
I'm getting there.
You know, it's as long as you're working at it, right? It's not like you got good at all in one go. And at least the nice thing with the RCMP process is it takes a while to get through. So it gives you time to build up that fitness. And the last thing you want to do with your fitness is do too much too soon, particularly with something like running, right? So even though it's not where you want it to be, it's not like you're going to be there forever. As long as you're working at it. Yeah. If you need to use the washroom, it's just right over there. Yeah. Okay. All right, coming to an end here.